Hey boardies, welcome to AmassGames. My name is Simon. This is another episode of the podcast talking to you about the stats of the games I've played as well as the games I've played, including a little summary about each of them. So this has been almost, I think, 4 weeks since the prior episode went out in early April, I think it was the 7th of April, and this is episode 17. So if you have any questions and you want to check out any of these games in more detail, please head through to YouTube. All well as doing that, you can also Google AmassGames and the name of the game that I'm talking about. Of course, if you head over to YouTube, that's a great place, as well as the Facebook group, to discuss any questions you might have about it, and also contact me via other methods. Now, you might have noticed I have a slight cold. I am literally laid up, and that kicked in a few days ago, so apologies for that, but I thought it'd be a good time to record this. So over the weekend, I did finish actually playing Gloomhaven, so I want to tell you about the stats first for the month of April. So that was 226 plays, 80 different games, 29 were mine, 38 new to me, 272 hours, all 30 days plays, with 87 different players. So let's talk about those games. Well, over on YouTube, I did mention that briefly before. I'll just tell you a little bit more about that. So there's 30.6 thousand views in the month of April. That's 16% more than March, with 79% of views actually being over 6 months old in terms of when the video first came out. So it proves that videos, even if they come out and last month, for example, was 10% of all the views, obviously that's going to decline as of now part of 2,000 videos over 1 million views, with 243 likes last month, 151 shares and 24 comments. So let's talk about those games. So starting off, going back to the 7th of April in this last episode broadcast, we're going to tell you that we played Terraforming Mars. So this is a drafting game where you're trying to complete various objectives. Things are going to snowball and you're trying to cascade them to try and colonize Mars. And ultimately, by the time that it reaches 8 degrees, 14% oxygen, as well as enough water on there, so 9 different ocean tiles, triggers into the game and seeing how well you did. Also play some point salad. Now you can check out my app video for this as well on the channel. Just Google AmassGames app and point salad, or just point salad to find that out. As well as Zephyria, which is a game very similar to a game you can check out on the channel called Tranquility, but it involves you working together to try and get a certain grid of 1 to 25 and get that resolved. Also Mini Rogue, so you can find videos on the channel as well for this. I have played it solo, I've completed it solo. I do have a promo to play with that as well. Also Bombay, which I've got a little bit more of a hang of, involving elephants, pick up and deliver. As well as that, Whistle Mountain, which is a game whereby it's a Euro game, kind of mid-weight, whereby you are building out kind of contraptions and mechanisms for your various airships of different sizes, collecting resources, and then looking to get more machines whilst the canyon floods up, because it's set in the Old West, whereby you've made your millions in the railways and now you're investing it into new machines in a mountain. And after that, we've also got Crime City, a Dirty Objectives. This is a small version of a mystery, a kind of escape room game whereby you're trying to solve some answers with the fewest cards possible. Word Traveller is a game whereby you are trying to give clues, try and get people to go a certain direction. It's quite nice. It reminds me of a few other games in that kind of word space, and it's quite effective. I do like it, whereby it reminds me of, I think there's a game with the name Amsterdam in it, which it reminds me of as well as Quirky Quarks, which is very similar to Terraforming Mars, whereby you're going out, you're trying to complete various different, molecules, and what you're looking to do is very similar to the game Splendor, trying to do that in the fewest and most efficient ways possible. Humanity is a game that I was trying to get on well with, but I'm still struggling slightly with, and I can't recall much more of the details, but I'll come back to them in a second. But it is quite a heavy-ish game, but is a game that I will try and at least get one victory at. But it's kind of a heavy-ish kind of 4 out of 5 weight game where you're a titan and you're trying to complete various scientific experiences. So this is a game on boardgamearena. It's a space exploration game with like hidden victory points, various order counters and various tech trees as well. And I know it was on, I think, Kickstarter potentially, but it involves work placement with dice workers, and yeah, you're trying to spin things around. And I do actually recall, I actually have played it since. I did manage to get a win at that one. So yeah, interesting game where you're kind of colonizing again, so that seems to be kicking in. So I happened to go away for the weekend, staying overnight to do some gaming. What else did I manage to play? Well, I played Dracula vs. Van Helsing. Finally got a win at this. This is a trick-taking game, quite an interesting one by I think Mandu Games. So there's Mandala, so check out my videos for that. 2-player abstract strategy game, which is some quite cool win conditions. And where you're trying to complete the Mandala, you might not win, but you might be having to kick in scoring. Among Cultists is a social deduction thriller, very much like Blood in the Clock Tower, Quest, Avalon, that kind of stuff. Played it as a fairly large group. I've got all the expansions as well, so that'll be coming to the channel very soon. Also Loot, which is a game, quite interesting game. It has grown on me, whereby I think it's a French game. You're going out with various hexagonal pieces, either getting timber or lumber if you're over in America. You're looking to get out sheep as well, and maybe some boats and axes and various things, and you can get various scoring objectives, and when you complete a certain requirement, it flips over and it can help you out in more ways. Also Colorado, so this is a sort of a roll and write game by Silex Games. Also by Silex, check out my videos for Amalfi. And then Hive, so I taught Hive, and this is an abstract strategy game. It's very highly rated in my opinion, whereby you are looking to capture the opponent's queen bee. Azul, I played this. Actually, I played Mini Azul for the first time, which I very much liked. And then also Salem 1692. This is a social deduction game, rather nice small kind of box game. And then it's Catch the Moon, which is a dexterity game whereby you try and build out ladders and try not to make them fall over. Kites is a real-time game by Floodgate Games, whereby you're racing against time to kind of get all these kites built, I guess. It's very quick actually once you get it completed, and we did manage to win as a 6, I think it was, or a 5, which is quite surprising. And 1, 2, 3, no, it was a 5. It was a 6. We played it out, so that's great because it's harder with more players. It did take 5 attempts to do so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no, 6 attempts. Wavelength, I'd actually enjoyed this. I played it as a 4. I have played it before actually. I've got a video coming again, which I haven't brought out yet. Playing it as a 5, which is whereby you try and work as a team. In fact, we played as a 6. And then Leather Jam, which I had played before as a prototype with Quins from Shop and Sit Down watching. And we managed to collectively kind of win at that one. Nine Tiles Panic, Anoint game. So enjoyed this one, whereby you're trying to get various things to kick in. You're trying to race and either capture these hamburger alien-loving creatures, or maybe you're trying to save some dogs or some kids, whatever it might be. And then Evolution the Beginnings. This is a nice lighter version of Evolution, but I do very much like it. I don't know if I prefer it over the other ones, but it's enjoyable to play. Threeba, or Zebra, which is Z3BRA, is very much like the traditional card game Golf, which I enjoyed. And Wunderkessel, which is a kids game with memory, whereby you're trying to complete various potions. Battlestar Galactica, the board game, that's another one, which played a high player count, another social deduction game. Unlock Mystery Adventures, another unboxing game, whereby you are looking to, I say unbox, it's a mystery box kind of escape room in a box kind of game. Piggy Pixie is a puzzly kind of game whereby you're trying to figure out a certain potion, certain kind of things that various, well, not potions, I guess flowers that a certain picky pixie might want. Sagrada, this is a puzzly dice game, very highly rated. This is, you can check it on the channel as well. I've got the expansion and I've got a promo to bring you as well. And also Splendid Jewel. So Splendid Jewel I got on well with, but then I know a certain listener on here is doing very well and beating me quite a few times back to back. Never beaten them. And yes, I don't know if I still prefer it over Splendor. I think Splendor I can simply play quicker actually. Nana, so this has been re-implemented, but this is a card game called Trio. And then Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I quite got into this. I've now gone through all 980 cards back to back, and very much like the high component quality of those cards. Nice thick cards, nice, give a good flick there. Don't go in there. This is a game by R2I, and it is quite a wonky game, but it has grown on me, whereby you're trying to get cards, but then get those cards to cancel out other cards, which is quite a reverse way of playing a game. Pax Pamir 2nd edition. Did manage to actually accomplish a victory at this after a few attempts, whereby you're trying to vie for control in this asymmetric game by Cole Worley, very highly rated designer. Also Sheriff of Nottingham, so this is a kind of bluffing game, which I'm usually terrible at if I haven't won at, and you're trying to kind of get past rotten apples and stuff past the sheriff without them inspecting your bag. Sekigahara, this is a 2-player game. If you check out the TV show Shogun, I highly recommend you check that out. Or even you play a game of Sekigahara, which they do talk about a lot in the TV show, which is based on a book which is based on Sekigahara, which is 1600, the same year that the TV series came out, and of course the book, which is all about the Battle of Japan and the fight for, supremacy. And it's very, very interesting, very thematic. It does work really well, and it doesn't take too long to play. Even a new player, including a teach, we got the game down in under 2 hours, which is great, with some lovely component extras I've got as well. Now, Planet Unknown, I have played this as a Lazy Susan, very good implementation of that. A polyomino kind of game whereby it has tech trees, very enjoyable up in space. Crack the Code, this is a limited communication game, like a nice puzzly game where you have to complete over various levels, but I've been playing it with the pro modes, which has been fun. As well as that Naturopile, which is a push your luck game, so playing lots of different mechanisms this last month. And there's a video coming through again for the channel whereby you're trying to get the most of various different value nachos and do the best. Bucket King 3D, another game which involves, I guess set collection is one way of putting it, as well as a form of push your luck and a little bit of dexterity, but you can check out various videos on the channel I've done for that. Dice Masters, which is kind of a TCG. I think it's actually, the official name is now is it XCG, so kind of any other card game, or ECG, as well as Leonardo da Vinci's Codex Leicester, reimplementation of Leonardo da Vinci, this one by Dice Tube Games, with stunning components, wonderful weighty chips like poker chips used for money, and it's a midweight euro. You're looking to complete various objectives using resources, so you're going to be worker placing to kind of get resources, but you're bidding to try and have the most, I guess, majority, so I guess area control in each of those spaces to get those resources or get the bonus to complete various different works, and those works will give you florins, which is money. Money is victory points. Also, Sherlock 13, this is again, it's a deduction game, not social deduction, but you're trying to figure out who the murderer is of 13 different cards, 13 different, I guess, potential suspects. So you have Sherlock in there, Moriarty, Lupin, etc. So yeah, check out my video, I've got another one coming soon within this week, and I want to play a few more player counts just to kind of think about that a bit more. As well as Flowers, which is a quirkily-like game, puzzly, whereby you're trying to get certain colours up to at least 5 in a certain colour, but if you have more than a certain tile value, so if you've got 1 1, you don't have 2 1s because they cancel each other out, so they come off the board. If you have 2 2s, that's fine, but if they touch another 2, obviously the whole side touches it, so orthogonal placement, then that gets removed. If you have 3 3s, that's fine, and 4 4s is fine, but any more than any of those values, so if you had 5 4s, then all the 4s would go. If you had 4 3s, all the 3s would go, etc. Undo, Long Live the King, a kind of RPG one-shot, I guess escape from the box kind of game. You can also check on the channel. So quite a variety of stuff going on here, quite a lot in the deduction-y space, as well as that Federation. This is a quite interesting game, which is you are kind of worker placing to trigger various activations of various robots to try and do more stuff. I haven't fully grasped it, nor for Maracaibo, which is an Alexander Vista game, so check out my playlist for that. Klondike, dexterity game, which we still very much love from Haba, check out my video for that, as well as fan-made version 2 of the play-tested The Quest for El Dorado, which is a race game, and then Caldera Park, a kind of puzzly game, trying to get the most points, basically getting various sequences of animals together. Ginkopolis, this is a interesting kind of old-school Euro game with some worker placement elements, but it's more around engine building and kind of area control. Tolerance is a trick-taking game, a heavy trick-taking game, which I have talked about on the channel as well in the past, so check out that. And lastly, we also have Knockmal Deluxe, 28th of April now, and that is a roll and write, obviously my highest rated roll and write. This is the deluxe edition, which is improving on me. 2-1B Baker Street, the Market Detective, another game of that, game 7. And more Games of Evolution. This is the standard version of Evolution now, speaking about the other one, and that's whereby you're looking to evolve animals, get traits, don't get eaten, but make sure you eat, otherwise your species will decline in size and population, etc. The Ming Voyages, this is a pocket campaign, kind of war game, 1 to 2 players by Surprise Day Games, so I'm going to have a video on the channel for that soon. And lastly, Mojo, which is a game, quite a weird game, whereby you're trying to shed your cards and then reveal once you've got 2 or 3 cards, if you've got 2 players or more than 2 players, and ultimately you need to have the lowest score. If you do, basically you'll only get the Mojo, which is 0, but if you don't get the lowest, you're going to get plus 10. If anyone hits 50 points, that they lose, or whoever's got the highest once 2 people hit that. That's it. That's pretty much covers everything off. A standard kind of 14-minute video audio recording again for you then. Looking forward to speaking again soon. Again, just Google all of those different names of those games. I look forward to speaking again soon. Let me know if you'd like to see them listed in the description in this video too. But for now, back to the table.